We have some sales figures from Sony for the second quarter of this year, and Sony have reported a decrease in sales in its earnings report. Now this is for the quarter which ended September the 30th, and it saw a 10.8% decrease in sales as well as operating income. The year-on-year decrease is valued at roughly $16 million and was apparently attributed to an unfavourable impact of foreign currency exchange rates. Sales were, quote, essentially flat year-on-year when not taking currency exchange into account. So basically, it's the same, essentially flat, but the poor exchange meant technically a decrease. As for the drop in operating income, Sony said it was due to lower operating results from semiconductors and component segments, and charges for the earthquakes in the Kumamoto region also attributed to this decrease in operating income. However, we did also see a decrease in the Game and Network Services division, which of course includes console hardware and PSN. And this saw a 11.3% drop in sales and operating revenue. Operating income also dropped a pretty hefty 20.6%, or roughly $188 million. And Sony identified price drops for the PS4 and low sales for the PS3 as the reasons behind this decrease. However, it is important to remember that this was partially offset by a reduction in the manufacturing costs for the PlayStation 4, as well as an increase in software sales for the machine, including digital content sold through PSN. Overall, 3.9 million PS4 consoles were shipped during this quarter, which is a year-on-year drop of about 100,000 units. This brings the total units shipped so far to 47.4 million units. Shipped so far, of course, and Sony has not changed its forecast of selling 20 million by the end of the fiscal year. Now, of course, given that this is for the period ending September the 30th, there is no inclusion of the PlayStation VR or the PlayStation 4 Pro. Of course, PlayStation VR came out in October, and PlayStation 4 Pro is due out in about 10 days on November the 10th. So we saw a bit of a lull there for Sony over the second quarter. However, given the release of the PSVR, PS4 Pro, and of course several high-profile releases over the next few months, the holiday sales report is going to be the most interesting. But still, it's interesting to see them kind of report a sales slump after they've been riding a pretty nice sales high for some time. Will they still meet their 20 million target? Possibly, but either way, PS4 is on a bit of a slump, but my guess is Sony are feeling confident for the holidays, given they have a pretty strong hardware lineup, as well as, of course, all of the good games that are coming out in the next couple of months. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.